Live streaming is on.
Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I will be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to attend the after party. Now, here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, or what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a Stunthangar Forum member, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/S as in sunset, M as in Mike, F as in foxtrot. You must also place a space between your real first and last name. When you register, you must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you are inclined to not come in and just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I will do my best to make your comments a part of the show. Now, understand that sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment, okay? Now, if you like these Stunthangar Video Hangouts or the many building videos that Sparky has done on this platform, if you find them informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. That's when you hit the like button, okay? So subscribe and share the videos and even comment. That helps the channel grow. Please also consider joining our YouTube channel membership starting at $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day, and your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. And with your memberships, you get special badges in the YouTube channel and unlimited replay of member-only videos, and once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, you can also use the super chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box, to make donations. Now, I have come to understand that super chat is only available during the live show. You can't see it if you're watching the replay. So again, if you want to support the show through the super chat, please note the date and time when we do these programs, which is Monday and Friday evenings at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and view it during that time. And then at that time, you'll be able to hit the super chat and donate. And I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. And please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or say things say things you don't say things you wouldn't say, around your children or grandchildren. So without any further ado, I'm going to post the link at stunthangar.com. So I'm going to turn to another screen, and I already got someone waiting in the wings here. So that's posted. Should be up there relatively soon. And I have Gary Sinclair already there on the chat box. He says, be there in a minute. Fantastic. And let me allow this person in. Here we go. Let's see who this is. Hey, Phil, how are you?
Doing great. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well.
Good deal. I'm trying to sneeze and just can't quite get it out. But anyway.
Yeah. Don't try too hard.
Been enough pollen in the air this week, I'm telling you. My red truck, my wife's red Mustang, we just washed them about 3 times, and next morning they're always yellow. So I give up.
Wow. Yeah, I'm fortunately I'm not allergic to pollen, at least not yet. As you get older, things change.
Oh,
hey,
don't
Howard.
I know it.
Hi.
Hey, Howard, how are you? Good to see you, buddy.
Lovely.
And Peter, hello, how are you?
Hi, Peter.
Peter's hanging in there. He just
I think his mic's turned off. And let's see who
Yeah.
this is. This is probably Gary Sinclair.
yeah.
So Howard, is that the same? That's the same hobby room, or you looks like a little different. Oh, that's the okay. I've seen that room. Yeah,
Oh, that's a paint booth. That's nice.
yeah. I like the siding. That looks really nice.
He's got a heck. I'd like to see
It's,
his house because
yeah,
it's
it was
what I've
for a
seen of it
horse,
is
but
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no horse. It's a funny house.
Well, what you're showing of it, it doesn't look funny to me. It's a pretty cool house from what
Looks
I've
nice.
seen of it.
Looks nice.
Oh, this is the shop. This is the outbuilding.
Oh, okay. Well, it's all nice. You got some
Yeah,
neat stuff. That old airplane there
Well,
behind you,
thank
you need to pack that up and send it to me. You got a new one coming.
I got a new one coming. I'm trying to teach this one to fly better.
Well, I don't know. It looked pretty good the last time I saw it.
Oh,
I
did you
was-
see it fly?
Isn't that the one you had at the Nats about 3 years ago?
Yeah, probably.
Number 5, yeah. I love the checkerboard on that one. I cannot figure out how to do it, but
Oh,
as soon as I figure it out, I'll have it on one of mine. Mine just
I can
starts.
send you mad.
I wish you would. Mine starts
Okay,
at
well,
the leading
I can
edge.
send you the file. I'm gonna get me a vinyl cutter. All the kids here have vinyl cutters, so I'm gonna get me.
I have a Cricut. We've been cutting a bunch of stuff, and I just put holocore letters on my vector and the AMA, the word vector, and the holocore letters on there today. And all the stuff I put on the Humbug is all done off that, except the USA on the rudder. I did that by hand and then taped it off and painted it blue and then peeled the letters off so the white showed through. But I don't know. I tell you what, it's
How wide
lettering's a lot of work. But I love the way that when I saw that thing at the Nats, I walked over to it. And you're not supposed to touch other people's airplanes. I walked over. How the heck did he do that? But mine starts at the leading edge, and it's 2 inches at the leading edge, and I think it's 2 inches. I can't remember now. And it just gets bigger as it goes back. And it's when it goes over the elevator and stabilizer, there's just about 2 rows is all that covers the elevator and stabilizer. But they start small and get bigger as they go back because it expands as it goes back. And I don't know. I did it on a stunt wagon years ago, and Bob Hunt liked it well enough to do it on his Mackie Lark. And I just use it on I've used it on a couple of planes since. It's just kind of everybody locally says, "Well, that's Phillips." I know the checkerboards. That's Phillips. So I'm a little warped, but I like that one. That one really turned out pretty.
Yeah, it is. I like how he folds it. Yeah.
Yeah, the way it folds is really nice.
I probably ought to run it over the stabilizer and elevator, but
No, it really, Howard, on that one, it looks like enough. I mean, it would be overdone on that one because the way it folds and comes back would miss the elevator. That's the way I looked at it. It looks to me like it starts up here. Okay, if it came straight back, it'd go over it, but it comes up and folds, and the way it comes back on the fold, it would just miss the elevators. It just looks slick. It really looks finished like that. Is that the one that they tried to give you the concours and 20 points? You said, no, it's got a cat hair in it.
no one ever tried to give me.
I thought that was you. There
are cat hairs there. Yeah.
Well, there's cat hairs in mine. The cat hairs and dog hairs in mine. I'm allergic to cats, but I can't help but I love the darn things. Love all animals. So
Yeah.
I got a buddy that's got 3 pet squirrels. And this nut goes out in the yard, and the squirrels are sitting on his shoulder, and they go out and play in the trees, and he'll sit out there and work in his yard, mow the yard, work 2 or 3 hours. The squirrels are in the trees. He gets ready to go in the house. You hear the darndest squeal you ever heard. and 3 little squirrels come and crawl his pants and get up on his shoulder and go back in the house. They know since they go in the house, they're going in a cage. I don't know why they're in such a hurry, but he's trying to turn them loose, but he said they just keep coming back.
Wow. Let me say hi to Robert and Ed. Thanks for coming in, you guys.
Good to see you guys.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great. Charles, I want to thank you and Gary so much for the calendar. I got it 2 days ago.
Oh, you're most welcome. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I like the tradition. I want to continue it, even though Rusty passed on. I wanted to still do it, and it's kind of neat. Yeah, hopefully we can get some more pilots, more planes, and really make it something.
I might try to get my humbug on it next time.
Donation there because I know the postage is a fair bit up here, so I'll have to send you another donation.
Yeah. Or if you want, you can just reimburse. Send some money to Gary Sinclair. You probably have his return address.
Yeah,
I'm gonna send him some.
Just send him something. That'll be.
He did a beautiful job on that.
Sure, that'll be appreciated.
Yeah,
And I have been in touch. Go ahead, Robert.
That case is used, as a hold open stand for it. That's really smart. Works good.
Yeah.
Gary's smart cookie. He's pretty sharp.
So I've been in touch, Robert, with Daryl at Hogs and Planes. As I saw his video he did of the SV11 electric. Have you seen that video?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah.
No, I have not. I'd like to.
I hope to see him tomorrow, maybe, at the flying field. I'm hoping to get out there then or Sunday for my first day out. Easy there, so. I saw him about a week ago, just by happen chance, down at Lacombe. It's about 120 miles from where he lives, about 90 miles from where I live, and we both ended up at a friend's hangar there, another control line flyer that has a little hobby shop business and catering to control line. Anyway, he was just down there dropping a few things off, buying some stuff, and I have a problem whenever I go into John's hangar because I always go out with at least $100 worth of stuff, and this time it was a couple of hundred. But scored a brand new Super Tanker rear intake racing engine RC. But I was wanting something along those lines for an old Corsair carrier plane for Class 1 that I was wanting to finish up. So I scored that for $50. I couldn't pass it up.
Yeah, what size engine is that?
40.
Yeah, about half
40,
of it, 40. I have one of those. Got that funny muffler that goes on the back. Looks like a tube that goes out sideways.
This one's side exhaust. Hang on a sec. I'll show it to you.
I hadn't seen that one. Mine's rear intake, rear exhaust.
So, Ed, what you been up to, Ed?
We'll put it on a carrier.
Working on my house. That's all I've been doing.
Hey, well, I'm glad that you're going to relax with us tonight. That's cool.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's hard for me to get on because I'm
that's
not
neat.
done till late.
Oh, I
That's
bet.
neat.
I understand that.
That's neat.
Oh, yeah, that is neat. I have seen those on the bay before.
Look at the carburetor on that thing. That looks big enough to be a 60, and it's on a 40.
There's these
Wow.
in RC Pylon back when. So,
Yeah.
they're sucking. It came with a pressure tap, but no instructions, so I'm guessing that you replace one of the rear case screws with it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I just couldn't pass that up. So I'm getting a hell of a collection of Super Tankers these days.
Yeah, I have. I don't know how many Super Tigers I have. I have plenty, and I haven't used them. I'm probably gonna end up selling them because I'm so enamored with the Stalker motors and the CAS 77s I have. I've been flying bigger planes, and then on the Classic, I've been liking the OS Max 35S. If the plane's light, which I have some light Classic planes, so that works. That's been working pretty good.
What classic plane you fly, Charles?
Right now, I've been flying a Chipmunk.
Oh, you dog.
And but it's not a SIG Chipmunk. I don't know. I have to put mine down next to a Chipmunk. Mine looks like a Chipmunk, but I don't know how true to the numbers it is to a Chipmunk.
Well, there was another one. There was another one that's classic legal. It's not the SIG, and I've forgotten the name of it. I usually know
the
it.
Hills. The Hills.
There's Van
that don't
Loo's,
sound right.
and then there's that guy in England. It's a chipmunk, he called it, but it's a chipmunk, and I think that one's classic legal also.
Look at RSM catalog. They sell a kit, whatever it is.
D Hill. That's what he has on his catalog.
I think there's another one. It's not just D Hill. Not just. I didn't know D did one. I know D. I've met
The
D.
Van Loo?
There's two D Hills.
No, Jim Van Loo is the one who did the Sig Chipmunk. CL21 is the Sig Chipmunk, but that's also the Jim Van Loo. He did that in the Mystery Ship, which have the same wing.
Wasn't there one by Hemstat? Did he do one?
I think he did one too, but that's not the one I'm trying to think of. It'll come to me in a minute. Old age and CRS is catching up with me.
Your bandsaw behind you, Robert. What brand is that?
That's from way back in the early to mid 60s. That's a Beaver brand built in Guelph, Ontario. It's been obsolete for forever, but still works fine. The tires on it were rock hard, petrified. So I just bought a set of new neoprene replacement ones. I haven't put them on yet. But, in spite of it being rock hard wheels on it, the thing tracks, runs beautiful. It's I got it for free, so what the hell?
What the hell? Yeah.
Can't beat the price.
Yeah, sometimes some things are best when they're free. Not always, but sometimes they are.
Man,
I ended up with a Beaver lathe too. Where I got them from was one of the junior high schools where I did a bunch of volunteer work in the shop for them. These were just sitting there obsolete. They were going to get rid of them, and I asked how do they dispose of them? And they said, well, all the work you've done around here, just take those, and as well as a Delta or Rockwell Unisaw, which if you were to buy one now, they're about $3,000. So
what's a Unisaw?
I don't know what a Unisaw is either. What is a Unisaw?
That's the big table saw. Just here.
Oh, okay.
You call that a Unisaw?
That's Delta or Rockwell's brand name for it. They call it a Unisaw.
That makes sense.
And I also have here, but I had to pay for it, but not too much. I don't have enough power for it, but in behind it, I've got a RT31, which is a 12-inch, 5-horse industrial with a scoring blade, where you have a little blade running ahead of the main blade, so that you don't chew up sheet goods when you're passing them through. Razor sharp cut.
Wow.
Nice.
Just stuff that I had in my shop, bigger shop at one time.
Let me catch up on the chat box. Just excuse me for a second. Walter Umlin says JVL Chipmunk. That
JVL.
I make. So he makes one, Walter Umlin. And then Alexander III, he says, greetings from Scotland. And greetings to you, Alexander. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. And then Walter Umlin says, be there in a few minutes. So we have Gary going to come in, and Walter's going to come in. And here's Gary Sinclair right now.
Need a new roof? Download this free coupon now and get a new metal
All right.
What the heck?
$89.
I'm trying to put a like in, and it's.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, speaking of likes, we have 13 viewers right now and 9 likes. So there's 4 of you who haven't done anything. Please. There
you go.
Maybe it might even be more than 4 because some people are doing likes before they come in. Here comes Mark Lumen. So anyways, if you're concurrently watching this, appreciate it very much. Look forward to having a great show. And Friday nights are probably typically better than, especially the after party on Friday nights, because people have the weekend and they stay up a little bit later. Thank you very much, Phil. Appreciate the like.
Yeah.
So now we have 15 concurrent viewers and 11 likes. And Mike Lockie says, like your locks. Like you lots, Cupcake. Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
He meant like you long
Mikey.
time.
Sounds like Mikey.
Yeah, I'm man enough to read that out loud. So,
Actually,
what's up, Ed?
I got a question for Peter.
Yeah.
I saw your post on Facebook about your flight box.
Yes.
How is that? How do you work your battery with that? Is that outside the flight box or inside the flight box?
Yeah, I have it hooked up either way. Hold on a sec. Let me see here. I happen to have it right here. Okay. Okay, first off, this is what I'm talking about.
There
Okay.
you go, Peter.
You know, it's a jump pack. It's very, very lightweight. It's really small. And I have a connection on the inside of it. Hold on a second. Or because I didn't want to cut up these cables that come with it that plugs in. What I did was, if I can grab this real quick, I've got 2 posts right out here.
Okay.
I can turn around and I can just use the clamps that come with it, and I can just clip it right in, and I can put this basically anywhere.
Okay.
And I'll power it out. I also have a similar setup on the inside of the box, but I didn't want to take up too much space. And that turns around and powers everything really neat. Let me see here. This connector here is where I plug in. Hold on. Where am I? There it is. I have this, which I use.
Is there? I think I read where you said that's 4 feet long.
Yep. 4
Do you
feet.
have, with that length, do you have a voltage drop?
No, nothing appreciable really. So I got.
You have a power panel in the box, right?
Yes, I got a BNC connector there. That just twist locks right onto that, and that'll run out. That will run out to the airplane. There is a little fuel nipple with a built-in filter here. That's the out. That's out. I've got a length of silicone tubing. I'll pop on there, and I'll run that out to fuel the engine with the fuel pump, and then it's fuse protected. I got a little. Let's see here. I'll do it. I have a little fuse that screws right here, so if anything shorts out on the outside leg, it'll pop the fuse. This little switch, one way is to fuel, and the other way is to reverse the motor on the fuel pump to pull fuel back in the other direction. And the little button, and I have a little push button here, which actually starts the motor. So I push it. It'll either suck the fuel out of the tank or pump the fuel in. And then there's a on-off switch here. And then for the glow driver, obviously I have the meter that came out of the power panel, plus the adjustment.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about. The adjustment on the.
Yep. So basically, what this was a regular, I don't know, pick a name, power panel that they sell for flight boxes. I just pulled all the insides out of it. That would hit the plate, the face plate and stuff, and all those electronics are in under these 2 protective plastic shrouds, so nothing shorts out. And otherwise, there's still plenty of room in there. Very good. Said in the post, I only ever take 2 airplanes to the field with me whenever I go flying. So if I can't, I've got 2 lines in there. I've got 2 handles, a bunch of propellers, and like I said, if I can't fix whatever is going on that happens at the field with whatever I can fit into this box, it's not something that really should be fixed in the flying field anyway. So, and like I said, this is it worked out really well. It's an old Samsonite cosmetics case.
Cool. Yeah, that's good.
Like I said, I can drop this down. I've got enough cords to reach the airplane at the flight line for glow and fuel. I turn around, plop it down, plug it in, start the motor, and disconnect it, pick the whole thing up, and just drop it outside the flying circle so it don't run into it.
Great. Very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I've realized over the years that the more stuff I take to the field, because I used to be like a lot of guys out there, okay, every tool, nut, bolt, screw, monocoat, no monocoat iron, but everything I can possibly imagine. And what that accomplished for me is 9 out of 10 times I lose something.
Yeah, that's my predicament. I have like 4 boxes I take to the field when I go, and it's gotten out of control.
Yeah. So other than a gallon container of fuel, and sometimes I don't even bring that much. I just fill up like a quart container of fuel. That travels separately, of course, because I don't want anything accidentally spilling inside the box. That's it. Those are the 2 items that I take to the field other than the airplane.
I had to get me some clear to go to. Charles,
Yeah.
I got a weird one for you.
All right.
My wife is a little warped. You know, the airplane that I've just built I showed y'all last week, was the Humbug, right?
Right.
My wife searched the internet and she found a Humbug.
Oh, wow.
So this one's going
really
on.
cool.
This one's going on the fuselage. I mean, on the wing,
cool.
and this is going on the fuselage, up where the nose arc goes.
That is.
No, that's
That is really cool.
My wife is a little warped. I got
You know what? That's neat to have a wife that's supportive, that she would seek out those things for you.
She
That
had
is
to
very
make
neat.
that. And she printed that somehow and then cut it out with the Cricut. I mean, she's very creative. She's more creative than I am.
So that's a decal now.
It's a vinyl. It's on white vinyl.
Right,
You
right.
can just stick it on. Yeah, but she's getting very good with that Cricut. That was a good investment. That's the best $200 I spent in a long time.
That's a great graphic. I have to admit.
Yeah, that's cute. I can't wait for the guys to see that tomorrow and say, "What the heck is that?" That's a humbug. Look it up on the internet. That's a humbug.
That is great. That is.
Yeah.
Wow. Talking about your wife supporting your hobby. That's amazing. That's great.
Yeah, she's a good one. She's the one who picks out the color schemes for my airplanes. I have no sense of color. And I get tired of red, white, and blue airplanes all the time.
That makes 2 of us.
Yeah. So I have no sense of color. I mean, I get dressed and she says, go change shirts. You don't wear that color shirt with that color pants.
Yeah.
No. Everything I wear is, I mean, you know, it's either black, it's blue, or for pants, it's either black, it's blue, or it's tan or gray. But I mean, that pretty well covers my entire wardrobe.
That's what my wife would say. If I didn't buy your clothes for you, that's all you'd wear.
Yeah, well, that's what mine tells me. You know, I wore work pants for years. They gave us these work pants, and they give us 5 pair a year. I'm not that hard on my pants because I was a senior. I'd stay on the ground, tell the other guys what to do. So I still have a few pairs of these work pants. Everybody says, why do you wear those things? Because they're comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm used to them. So everybody tells me, you need to wear jeans when you go fishing. Jeans are a lot hotter, and when they get wet, they take a long time to dry. These are dry in 30 minutes. So, you know, it's the way it goes. But now when you go flying, when you get them wet with fuel, you get sticky. That's all there is to it. But anyway.
Over.
By the way, Tran won't be with us tonight. He is getting up in the morning early and driving to Chicago, above Chicago, Aurora, to pick up some of his stuff, and driving back Sunday. So, the man is tough, I'm telling you. I told him if you were anywhere close enough, I'd ride with you just to keep you awake, because that's a heck of a drive. I've done that before.
Yeah, I told him to call too. I said, call if you get tired, man. Just pull over and call. Yeah. He's picking up his molds.
Yeah, picking up all his stuff. But I talked to him earlier tonight, and he said he was heading out in the morning at 5 o'clock, so he would not be here tonight. But tell everybody hello. So hello, everybody.
Thank you. Hello.
But he is he's an Iron Man, I'm telling you.
You know, I want to get back to having a supportive wife. There's a guy out here in the West Coast. His wife, he couldn't find a coach, and so he enlisted his wife's help, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, his wife did not know anything about flying stunt pattern, but he gave her the rule book.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is doing so much better because, you know, being married, your wife can point out all the things you're not doing right, and that even
Mm-hmm.
crosses over into the rule book of the stunt pattern, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know, she wants her husband to do good, so she has been picking out all the things he's doing wrong, and he's been fixing them, and he's doing really well. I mean, I've seen him do really well. I'd like to get my wife's help myself, but my wife's disabled and she has fibromyalgia, and she'd be in a lot of pain, and that would be, she would do it for me, but that'd be probably asking too much. But I know my wife, she would know the rule book, and she would point out everything and keep telling me, you know, you need to fix that. That's not right. You're not at 45 degrees. You missed the intersection. You know.
Yeah.
I'm
afraid in my case that would cause more arguments than it would be worth.
Well, if you started, I mean, I'm not saying if you're not winning now, but if you're, I'm sure our wives would really make us, you know, could coach us.
Your wife is the one person who will give you a true assessment and absolutely not cut any corners.
Right.
So that could be a little rough. What happened to Howard Rush? Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. I see his plane anyway.
It's going in and out.
Yeah.
I see his hand.
Yeah. I tell you what.
Two fingers.
The first time I saw it's a 2-finger salute, Howard, not one. But the first time I saw that airplane at the Nats, I've only seen it once because I haven't been to the Nats that many times recently. Last 5 years since Vicky got sick, but she's healthy now, thank God. But anyway, the first time I saw that airplane, I thought, well, Howard is going to give somebody some real headaches, and I think he's going to yet. I can't believe he hasn't already, but anyway, I'm waiting to see Howard in the top 5. Of course, now being a true East Coaster and having seen him since day one, I still want Derek Barry to win the darn thing one time. He's been second.
Before.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember hearing about it. I just never saw a picture. I want to see a picture of you in the top 5. They need to publish the darn thing. But
I don't know.
I want to see you in the top 5, and I want to see Derek Barry with that top trophy. Because he's the first time I judged him, he was like 9 years old and flying an Oriental with a 40 in it. And I watched the pattern, and he landed, and I turned to the other judge and I said, "Did those scores just seem awfully high to you for a kid that small?" He said, "Yeah, he don't fly like a kid," and he didn't, and he still don't. But I started calling him the 43-year-old midget, and he absolutely flies great. But he's got a way with a motor like nobody I've ever seen. He goes out there and plays with the motor, and when he puts the battery on it, it's ready to go. He just pumps it one time and it's running. I don't care. He went to Watt Moore's and pulled planes down that hadn't been off the shelf in 10 years. Went out there and worked with him, free him up, put a new glow plug in a couple of them, took them outside, bumped them one time, and they flew them. Even Watt said, "I never thought that motor would ever run again." But he's a heck of a motor man. I don't know if he knows how to work on them, but he sure knows how to start them.
Hey, John, thanks for coming in.
Good to see y'all.
Good to see you. How are you?
Hi, John.
I'm feeling like tonight.
Oh, I know how that
Something
goes.
I ate, I think.
Something
I ate.
Well, you need to quit, you need to quit eating that, whatever it was.
Well, it was some leftover ribs, you know, and I'm a sucker for it. I think I ate too many of them.
I have been guilty of that one myself too many times.
Leftover from last Sunday's dinner.
Okay, maybe you should have.
Maybe you should have eaten them a little sooner.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'll pay for it.
I went to eat something the other night.
That's all right. My wife goes absolutely out of her mind when I eat like pizza that's been like a week and a half old.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
If it stays around here 2 days, that's the limit. After that, it goes in the circular file. Hey, Michael, how are you? Good to see you, buddy.
Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Well, there's a reason for that. Charles is going to call me the shark here in a little bit.
Yeah, I thought so. When I saw the shark, I knew who it was. I didn't get anxious seeing the name, the shark.
Did you see the text I sent you earlier?
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to what you're going to show us.
Okay. So, yeah. Scored some good stuff on Facebook Marketplace today that was about 80 miles away. And you guys are all going to hate me when I show you what all I got. But I'll save that for later. But real quick, if I'm not interrupted, I'd like to show the Mobest that I finished.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Already seen it.
Oh, yeah, John. John already saw it. So
That's nice.
Oh, that looks
That turned
nice.
out very nice.
that's Marshall Busby's Mobest. I rehabbed it, redoped the fuselage, restriped it.
Nice. Yeah.
Wow, that looks great, Mike.
The gear
Yeah,
were
great.
toast. So I got rid of the original gear, which were very complicated, I think, to build for the original plane. They were pretty complicated wire gear with some fancy pants on them, but they were toast. So I just put some Hobby King carbon fiber gear on them. That's his monocoat job. I kept that. It's all pretty good. There's a few patches in there.
Wow.
But the monocoat job held up pretty well. I just redoped the fuse and changed the color. It was white with a red stripe, and I painted the fuse red and put a white stripe on it. And then I got Marshall's PA40 side exhaust off of his Cavalier I put on this airplane. This motor was on his Cavalier, but that's a PA40 side exhaust with a chicken hopper tank. The rubber band deal, that's all temporary till I can get some tank brackets made up for it. But it'll be enough to fly it this weekend if we get decent weather for it. And I'll keep Marshall's AMA number on it and just add mine to the bottom. But came out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. All up 50 ounces right now, the way it sits. 50 ounces.
Nice.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, I think that's really good. That's
And
a
he's
pretty
showing
big
off.
plane.
He's showing off. He's got one of them 3-blade carbon props on it.
Well, that was the prop that was on Marshall's Cavalier that he had on this engine. So I don't know if this is the right prop for this airplane, but that's a starting point anyway.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a Bali 12.4 cut down to 11. So
Well, if
I'm
you
just
chip the
gonna
edges
try-
and if you chip the, oh, never mind. You have 36. You have 32s as well, 36s as well. So never mind.
Right? Yeah, I know. Don't get rid of them. Right?
Yeah, don't get rid
I
of
love
them.
that prop fit on that spinner.
Yeah, they do good.
That is a nice. Those are nice cuts on the that spinner. That looks beautiful.
That looks
I'm
like
sure-
a Vico. Is that a Vico spinner? Vico?
I'm pretty sure that's a Randy spinner. That's probably
That's
an
a
Aero
Randy.
product. Yeah,
That's a
that's
Randy
the Randy Aero product spinner, I'm sure. But like I said, this motor, spinner, and prop was in Marshall's Cavalier 650 that he had, which the airplane was trashed. But I bought the motor out of it from his son. So, and then he actually had an FP40 on this airplane, but it was clapped out. It was bad. And I thought, you know what? I got Marshall's PA. I got Marshall's Mobest. I'm going to put the PA on the Mobest and see what happens. I don't know if it's going to be a great combination or not yet until I fly it, and I'll probably have to reprop it or who knows. It might be too much motor for the airplane, or maybe I just fly it on a little longer lines, longer than 60s, maybe get out 62, 64 if it's too fast.
Sure.
But hopefully, if we get some decent weather Saturday or Sunday, I'll be able to maiden this thing. So
Very
anyway,
nice job. Very nice.
That is nice. You did well, Michael. It looks neat.
yeah. Well, I'm happy to have the airplane. I think Marshall will be happy to know that it's still flying. Flying again. And if it turns out to be a good profile, I'm gonna use it this summer in profile.
Sure.
It should be a fun plane for that.
Can I see the controls again, Mike?
Yeah, sure.
Black one.
Well, he's got a carbon fiber push rod on there. It looks like the Aero Shaft deal.
Very nice.
It's nylon flap horns. I did change the clevis coming out of there, and I put a new nylon flap horn on it. But this is looks like the Aero Shaft deal.
Right.
I mean, it's no ball links or anything like that. I don't know. Phil, you might have seen Marshall fly this airplane at some point. I didn't know him when he was flying it, but my guess is around 2000 or something like that. Maybe up to 2004, 2005. But my guess is this plane hasn't flown in 15 or 16 years.
Yeah, it probably hasn't. The last time I saw it fly was in Atlanta, way back when we were flying at Marietta at the Marietta, where they build real airplanes, that parking lot.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it, but anyway.
Where the old Sky Rebels used to have their contests before Canton. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, before that, we used to be at soccer fields. That was a lot more fun. Mike, did you see this?
Can't see you. I think you still got.
He wasn't on yet, I don't think.
Oh no,
yeah.
no.
You know what that is?
I got to be careful because we're still live streaming. But I don't want to say anything ugly.
It's a humbug.
A humbug. Okay.
My wife looked up online and found me a humbug. So I've got one to go on the wing and one to go on the fuselage of a humbug.
Okay.
I'm telling you, my wife's a little warped, but she supports my madness, so I can't help it.
I probably would not have been politically correct when I was guessing what that image was. So that's why I didn't say anything.
That was a dirty old man, Mike.
I would have made fun of it. I would have made fun of it in a bad way. So, but I'm glad I didn't. But
I like it. I think that's neat. That's going on my plane. I'm gonna put that on there later.
Mobest. If nobody's ever seen a Mobest or been around one in person, it is a honking big wingspan on this thing, man.
It is.
It really is. It's like one of the biggest profiles I've ever seen.
It's got a hollow fuselage, and the reason it's hollow is because if it were solid, it'd weigh a ton.
And there's some kind of carbon fiber rod going down the fuselage. That's why I found out.
Looking it up.
Okay, where the stripe is, where this stripe is, where Marshall. So this was a white fuselage with a red stripe, and I did red with a white. But covering the reason for that stripe is you can see a piece of carbon fiber going almost up to where the bell crank is, all the way to the leading edge of the stabilizer.
Yeah.
He didn't do a very good job hiding it. I don't know if it's supposed to be sandwiched in there or completely hidden, but there is definitely a carbon fiber rod running through.
That's something Marshall added to it. It's not on the plans.
It's not on the plans. Okay.
No, I have the plans. It's not on the plans.
All right.
That's neat.
Maybe he put carbon strip down both sides.
He probably did.
And then used the stripe to cover it up.
To hide it. Yeah, probably.
To hide it. But there's definitely carbon underneath that stripe. Because I found it when I sanded the fuse down.
Yeah.
Well, I like your choice of colors because that's what
Oh, very nice. Oh, your Nobler's coming out pretty nice.
Yeah,
that's cool. Good.
Other than my affliction with checkerboard, so yeah.
Nothing wrong with checkerboard.
That's all right, Mark. I get along just fine.
With winning.
I love checkerboard.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah,
good.
That's cool. That's cool.
Turned out well. And it actually flies, so
You flown it already?
Tryon flew it for me when he was over. Yeah, I couldn't quite make circles yet with the knee. I tried one circle with his airplane, and the knee I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. But I flew well, and I was happy. The wings were level, and other than I just need to do a little bit of a control adjustment, it worked out. Yeah.
Very good. Guys, let me interrupt real quick. I want to say hi to Walter. Thank you for coming in, Walter.
Yeah,
And
good to
thank
see you,
you,
Walt.
Denny, for coming in. And Carl
Always good to
Reed,
see Denny.
we can't see you, Carl, but thank you for coming in.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, I appreciate
and Denny.
that. And what's this, Mark? What do you got there? An electric what?
Oh, cool. Cool.
An electric what?
Boo!
Electric
Hey.
vector.
Boo!
All right.
That's
Oh,
electric.
You'll love it.
cool.
I sure like mine.
You should have got one that says batteries not included.
That's part of the scariest words, the most feared words at Christmas. The 8 most feared words at Christmas. Some assembly required, batteries not included. It's 7 words, but anyway, that's oof, Lord. No, I have one, Mark, and you'll love it. You'll love it.
I got a lot of projects done before I get that. I'm ordering. Tryon's got me hooked up on some, the right systems and stuff like that. And I've got one other system that I'll probably use on something else. And I got the Banshee project is coming along also. So
what are you putting in it for Eddie?
The Banshee's gonna go. It's gonna go back with an Enya or a McCoy 35.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, what you gonna put in the electric?
A 3542, and Denny, hop in here if you hear anything wrong. A 3542 with like a 35 amp Talon ESC, and it's like going with a 4S 2200 milliamp batteries.
Yeah, well, that'll work. That'll. Lord, that's more motor than I've got in mine by a bunch, but that's less battery. So,
I'm going with Tryon's recommendation on that because he said it's just it's going to run cooler, and he done the math, and I think
the motor don't have to work as hard.
Right.
Mine's got a 28, 20. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Something like that in it.
That's the
50
BSC.
Right? Yeah, and then mine has a RSM active timer in it, and it flies great. But if I were doing it again, I would probably follow Tran's recommendations, and I'd go with Fioretti timer. I'd probably use same ESC because ESCs are, I don't know. Probably, I think mine's got a castle in it, and I like the castle. They're easy to set up, and they work.
I've never used them. It's all new, but just reading a lot today is like, I guess it depends on if you go with like a KR timer, you can get by with it.
KR seems to work pretty good. I had a fit with them to start with, but once I got it all straightened out, it works great. It's all when they tell you how to set it up, do it like they say.
Right, and they say don't use. They say don't use a high class ESC on those. You use the cheap version without a governor and everything. I think that's right, Denny.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing. I started
Guys,
out
let me
with a
interrupt
castle.
for a second, you guys. I'm sorry. I want you guys to still continue talking after this. I want you to know that Carl wants to say something, and then Mike Monkey wants to say something. But you guys continue on. I want you to know there are 2 people waiting to speak.
Well, let them speak because they're going to make more sense than I will.
Right, Carl, go ahead, Carl. You're first, and then Mike Lonky.
Oh no, I was just saying hi to everybody. That's it.
Okay, well that's great. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I wanted to get this in tonight because the last 2 times I brought it out too late. I was talking about
the jet model.
The jet.
The new sport jet. I got this from Dick Hart from the UK, sport jet model kit. Very complete wing, fuselage, tank. Very complete hardware package. Speed button bell crank ready to go with button attachment points. All the hardware, the mounting hardware, the brackets for the jet, and the straps too. They're there in the kit. But very complete sport jet model, you know, tank ready to go, already plumbed and built. There's going to be some carving on the wing. There'll be some carving and shaping on the wing, but very, very straightforward kit.
Yeah.
And
where does your
go ahead.
Go ahead. Where does your motor go?
On the top.
Okay. I see now. Yeah.
Pulse jet. It's a pulse jet.
Yeah. Ninja. Yeah.
And he was even nice enough to include his club sticker from the UK,
that's cool.
which is Charleston Model Airplane Club. And I even got a little British flag for Charleston Speed. I wish Len was here so I could tell him I'd much rather have British flags on my airplanes than Canadian ones.
Oh, he'll show up.
Well, if Len comes on, we'll have to bust that back out so I can bust his chops a little bit. But very, very good kit, very high quality. Looks good. The other thing too, look, he's already got the insets there for the motor mounts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the threaded. I don't know what you call those things. What do you call them?
Inserts.
Yeah, threaded inserts, the little brass deals that thread into the wood, and then they're tapped for the screws.
Blind nuts?
Well, they're not blind nuts.
Threaded inserts, yeah.
Yeah. It was a little pricey, I think, because of the pound to dollar conversion, because it ended up the kit plus shipping was 180 US. And so 30 of that was shipping, you know, so it was 150 for the kit. But I'll tell you this, I ordered this thing on a Tuesday from Dick Hart, like PayPal'd him on a Tuesday. He sent me shipping info a couple hours later, and this thing was on my porch Friday from the United Kingdom.
Wow, from the UK. Wow.
That's
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It was on my porch Friday, 3.5 days after I paid him for it.
Wow.
For $30 US.
That's pretty impressive.
It was TNT shipping was what it was called. TNT. I don't know who that is, but TNT. They ship from overseas.
Yeah.
3.5 days from Great Britain to Nashville, Tennessee for $30.
Pretty neat.
Hey Mike, will you do the fans a favor, because there's some people don't know what a post jet even looks like. Can you show us a completed one? Not that same model, but any completed post jet, so they know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, and I know some of us do, but some of our viewers might not know what that is. Wow. That is nice.
That is
very nice.
That is spooky fast is what that is.
So, and you guys all saw that this is the Tamigo trainer, the Mike Hoyt kit from the 60s and 70s. I built this one like 3 years ago. And a lot of guys have flown this since I built it. And actually, the guy I bought this one from, Mike Hazel, who's a jet guy up in Oregon, he listed another one for sale, and I bought the other kit that he had for sale, and it's on the way. I'm going to build another one identical to this, because this is basically a trainer sport jet model. It's not a record beater or anything by any means. Only goes about 120, somewhere in there. It's very easy to fly, and it's a trainer. It's very easy to get off the ground. But I have another kit of this coming to build so that I can introduce more people to Dynajet flying when they're around. And Charles, that's the motor I bought off you, man.
Oh, wow. Excellent.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Yeah, that's the motor that I bought from you. That's been on this airplane.
That looks great.
So do you start those with compressed air?
I use a tire pump.
A tire pump.
I use a tire pump.
You need help, Mike. You need an intervention.
Yeah. Hey, John, don't start laughing, buddy. You're gonna fly this at Muncie this summer. Don't
You
laugh.
see an old man fall down and get hurt, don't you?
No, John, you can handle it. You can handle this. You can handle this.
Yeah.
It's just step. It's not that fast. It's really not.
John don't have
steps in them. John, I can put it on 70-foot lines if that'll help you to slow it down a little bit. But it's not that bad, John. You're flying.
I'll find out. I'll find out soon. I'll find out soon if I can still fly without falling down.
Well, you come to Muncie, you're flying this. Any of you guys come to Muncie, you're flying this. You're all welcome to fly it. That's what this is for. This is an entry-level jet, very easy to take off, very easy to fly.
What kind of fuel, Mike?
Yeah.
This one runs on gasoline. This is just straight
gasoline?
Straight gasoline right out of the pump, man. 93 octane right out of the pump.
Wow.
That's why it's not a record beater. That's why it's not like crazy cat. You know, it's not. It starts easy. It runs good. It's reliable. It's easy to take off. Doesn't come in at you. And, you know, it's got a little pull. You got to hang on a little bit. But you're not out there. It ain't no record beater, man. It's barely over 100 miles an hour, man. You know.
And does it have a glow plug that you use like on a regular IC engine, or how do you get
spark
that?
Plug.
No, spark plug.
Spark plug.
Spark plug.
Yeah, but what do you use to get the spark to the plug? Does it have a coil, or use a starter like you would?
I've got my dad's buzz box that he built in the 1960s. It's a Model T ignition coil hooked up to a 12-volt battery. And you hook that to the spark plug and the tailpipe, and somebody pushes the button, and that ignites the spark plug. Then somebody starts pumping, and when you pump, air and fuel go into the combustion chamber, and it fires. And then once it's lit, the spark plug isn't going anymore. You don't need it.
Yeah.
I should start it up, Charles.
Yeah, start it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, start it up.
Yeah,
right there in the garage.
Your neighbors are a good distance away from you. Go ahead and start it up.
You got it.
Well, I mean, I've done it. Were you on the show when I started it up with Rusty that night?
I think so. It sounds very familiar. I think so.
I mean, I've done it before. I've started them and run them in the garage before.
Yeah, for it.
I'm gonna do the smart thing and go ask permission from my wife instead of asking forgiveness later. So, but if
smart man,
I get it.
If she says okay, I'll get it set up and I'll fire a pulse jet off tonight. I don't care.
Being it's 11 o'clock at night, your neighbors might want to know too.
No, I'll shut the door. I mean, I'm only gonna run it for about 8 seconds, and then I got to shut it off. So
you got a dolly for it?
No, these are all skid launch.
Oh,
these all skid right off the ground.
All right.
Wow.
And do they have a needle valve setting, Mike?
No needle valve setting. You change the metering jet based on what the temperature and humidity and elevation and all that. So, you know, anywhere from 32 thousandths to 65 thousandths based on where you're at and what fuel you're running. The gasoline runs smaller metering jets. The 80-20 nitro and methanol runs larger metering jets. But usually you can figure you hear it when you start it, and you'll know if it's too rich or too lean, and you just change it a few thousandths from your normal setting to get it to work.
Where's the fuel tank on that one? In the fuselage?
It's
that's that big long thing.
It's right here, Walter.
It's inside, right? Oh no!
This is actually a metal tank. It's a metal tank that goes from here to here, and it's half of the fuselage. but it's glassed in. There's fiberglass and paint over it. But
That's why it looks like all one big piece. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's easier to see on the kit, Mike. On the kit, you can actually see the fuel tank.
Well, yeah, this one's different because this is old school. This is how they built them in the old day. They put the fuel tank in the nose and in the I mean, look how fat that fuselage is on this thing. Now what they do is they do a big giant metal tank like this on a profile model. But this is made to run on the 80-20, the 20% nitro, 80% methanol. And these this has about a 5-ounce tank. This is about 10 ounces, but they'll run the same amount of time. The gasoline it's more economical and runs longer. You need more of this fuel to run the same time as gasoline.
And
but this one will be 30 miles an hour faster than gasoline.
Holy Christ, that's 150 miles an hour.
Right. Yeah, a sport jet
squares with that.
No.
That was a ha-ha. Oh,
yeah.
Tell them what they run when they're really shooting for a record.
Over 200 miles an hour.
I've seen them go over 200 miles an hour.
Over 200 miles. That's fast jet. I mean, that's a different category altogether. That's like completely different category. This is a stock Dynajet. I mean, I don't do anything fancy. I don't run fancy planes. I don't run sidewinders. I run uprights. So these are all called uprights. You've seen the ones where the engines are on the side. Those are sidewinders, and they do all kinds of crazy stuff to go faster. I'm just a bang around guy. I like flying the uprights and just, keeping it easy. But I like the old stuff and the new stuff. But I'm not out there trying to set records or win contests with them. I just like flying them, period.
When I was a kid growing up, I used to see guys practicing in Flushing Meadows. And it was, everybody cleared this field and blah, blah. Seriously, when they were practicing with a new one or something, and God, were they loud and scary. No, I'm serious. That's my childhood memory of one of those. Loud and scary,
Yeah. Well,
I ever did combat, so, when I saw that thing spinning around, and the people with the pole and everything, it's scary as a kid. But you're smart. You're actually teaching your kid different level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Sam soloed on this last year.
Yeah.
So he flew it in Detroit like in May, but I had to help him a little bit. But by the El Dorado contest, he soloed. He took this thing off by himself and flew it 4 times by himself, without me being in the circle. Now we got to work on him flying with a pylon and getting his hand in a pylon so he could actually compete in sport jet. Because right now he's just flying it and holding the handle. But to compete in a contest, you got 2 laps after it takes off to get your hand in the pylon, and that's a safety thing.
They don't wear safety thongs though, right?
Yeah. You got to wear a thong. And you got to get it in the pylon before lap number 2 to get officially timed.
Okay.
So we got to work on that.
Most of them fly those things on. Well, most of them used to. I don't know about now. Used to fly it on a monoline system, which just adds to the fun.
Well, that's just a different category. They still do.
Monoline is a different category.
Yeah.
But
that's the guys. I used to
there
see
still is
monoline like that.
There still is monoline sport jet and fast jet, but there's 2-line as well. It's just a different, but still legal.
I'd have to go 2-line because that single line is wild.
Yeah.
Is that is that a mono or a regular?
No. It's up and down. It's
regular up and down.
Yeah, regular handle. Yeah. And see, that's another thing. I would never screw with monoline. I wouldn't do it. Who wants to do that? That's just, it's way before my time and not anything I'm interested in learning. You know.
Solids or stranded, and how thick are the lines?
Okay, so if you're going to compete, technically 22 solids is what you got to have to compete.
Okay.
That's what you have to use in competition is 22 solids. I don't compete. I fly this on 21 braided, but I always fly it in the cage at Muncie, so it's safe. And actually, back in the day, we flew these on 18,000 braided, and never had a failure. Never had a failure. But per the AMA safety code, 22,000 solids for competition.
Okay.
And I have a couple sets of those. I do.
I picked up something today in the mail. Ordered it. You guys see that?
Let me see here. K&J Magnetics?
Yep.
What is that?
Rare earth magnet.
I knew you were going to say that.
For hatches. And I just, I got looking, I couldn't find the ones I had, so ordered some new ones. And they came today. Let me show you how powerful these are. Here's 2 packages. Watch this.
Yeah. Wow.
These are 3/8 by 1/16, but they've got the adhesive back. Thought I'd try those. And these are 5/16 by 16. There's a stack of 20, 2 stacks of 10. Whoops. There we go. And let me get where they're little. Anyway, so those are for hold downs and stuff like that. I had smaller ones, but they kept blowing off, so I went for the bigger ones. May yet need to go bigger yet.
Go bigger, go home.
Yeah. Well, that's the truth when you're holding down cowls and stuff like that with magnets. I've had them blow off. Several people have had them blow off. A lot of people won't use them anymore. You just need to, you can go 2 ways. You can go bigger around, and you can go longer.
Right.
Half inch, 3/4 inches long. And I tell you, there's some of them you're gonna struggle to get them apart. Yeah, Denny.
Hey, Charles, can I jump in on something?
Yeah, Denny.
What I wanted to show this off, Mike mentioned monoline. I'm just wondering how many people have had a monoline or seen a monoline system before?
I've seen it.
I've seen it in magazines.
All right, well, let's got this out of the rafters of my dad's place. This is a monoline Victor Stanzel unit, I believe. I think this is one of the so-called sport units. And the monoline uses a twisted line. And when the line twists, all right, the bell crank following the cam, your push rod would go right there. And that's your up and down. Okay.
Oh, I see. So it's a twist.
So you would twist your hand?
And you don't twist it far enough to get it out of the cam, but anyhow.
Yeah.
And when it's all properly installed and bolted down and everything like that, it's all safely installed.
If anybody's had one of those toys as a kid where you had the little helicopter blade and you had this thing that you pulled up and down and it twisted and it spun that's the same principle.
Yeah.
In other words, there's a special.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
All right, this is the stock Victor Stanzel unit. They made them with a plane. They had a plane bearing unit. They had a ball bearing unit, and then they had this glorified fishing rod. I guess what it reminded me. I guess you hang on that way. And then so-called, this thing's all hasn't been used. It's kind of corroded up. But basically, you slide this bead back and forth,
right,
and it makes it twist, which twists the line and delivers the the input to the onboard the bell crank system.
And that was solid lines. You had to use solid lines.
Yeah, you had to use a solid line, and they were typically you were using 018 for 2 lines, you're using like I think 024 or 027 single lines for a monoline. All right. But one cool thing about monoline is that it doesn't rely on line tension.
No.
You can actually have a big old bow in the line and everything like that, and you can still maintain control by just twisting the, because this thing going back and forth will still twist the line, and the
Right.
twist still reads to the to the airplane.
Right.
And I was wondering, one of the things they tried to focus on is, hey, this is safer than two lines because you don't worry about lost line tension. And I guess if there's a knock on it, if you're flying stunt or combat or something like that, it's just not a very precise control system. Perfect for speed, where most of your control inputs are just relatively just related to keeping the airplane level. Maybe a little bump on takeoff, maybe flare it a little on landing. With it, I know I've seen a lot of speed guys. They would literally let go of the bead completely. They'd have one hand in the pylon, and they wouldn't even follow with this. They didn't have to because the airplane's a well-tuned speed plane, doesn't need to be blown. It just locks into a groove 5 feet off the ground and until the motor shuts off. But anyhow, that's my.
Could you imagine trying to fly a stunt pattern on monoline?
Didn't somebody do that?
I have seen people try. I've seen people who.
Yeah, they did it.
Whatever.
They did it.
I never saw anybody fly what I would
Dale
call
Kern.
Dale Kern.
Dale Kern. I saw Dale Kern fly 3 stunt patterns on 1 ounce of fuel with a baby flight streak on a 50-foot monoline.
Wow.
Well, isn't the $1,000 prize for winning the nets with the monoline still standing? Nobody ever cashed in on it.
That's it.
And I don't. Stanza put up a prize of $1,000.
Mm-hmm. As far as I know, more about that. Still out there, right for the taking. So I don't know, but anyhow, yeah, I've seen. There was somebody who used to show up every year. He had a Nobler with a monoline, so he'd be practicing with it, but I never saw him fly it in an official flight. I understand there a couple of years ago there was somebody showed up at BSC with a Ringmaster, and I think he actually competed at BSC in old time with the monoline system, so you could do the old time pattern. So one kind of a goofy little click on that is that when you're doing, say, an inside loop, you're in effect unwinding that line one revolution every time you do a loop. So at least technically you got to continually adjust, your bead, and then go back the other way and all that. So, Mike, have you ever flown monoline?
Dale Kern showed up at one VSC with his son, and he flew a Thunderbird, Thunderbird 1 on.
That's what it was, Thunderbird 1. You're right. That's right.
And he flew that on monoline for years. Well, his son did it, and they did a demo flight, and it was a recognizable pattern, but it wouldn't have scored high because it just didn't have the precision, that it's needed to win.
He used to fly all the time.
Dennis,
he used to fly all the time. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, Dennis asked if I ever flew monoline. To answer your question, no, I never have. But Bob Whitney gave me a monoline pulse jet airplane at the Nats 2 years ago. It was all set up for monoline. It was a Sidewinder pulse jet. Bob Whitney gave it to me, and I passed it on to TJ Vieira because I have no desire to fly monoline, and TJ is a speed guy, so he's nerdy enough to want to try it. So I gave him the airplane. I didn't want to mess with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it had that torque unit like you had the torque unit already built into the wing. Mm-hmm. So I passed on it. I want my stuff easy. I don't want it that hard.
We tried it. We tried it on a mouse racer. And the problem is when you're trying to fly and you got mouse racer and you got 2 or 3 people, you end up trying to find out where the other person is with your hand to pass or do something. You can't do that with a monoline because you got both hands on the monoline.
Yeah.
So it made it kind of weird, but it was fun to play with anyway.
There was another unit that somebody had built something with a like a spur gear arrangement and a normal handle.
Yep.
So you could move your hand and it would twist the line and everything like that. That might have been a way out of your mouse racing things, but again, it's just I don't think the word precision just isn't part of the vocabulary. So
I saw one of those listed on eBay one time.
Mm-hmm.
The handle you're talking, it was a monoline handle, but you could do this, and it had a little wind gear in it, or a spur gear that would move the bead, and you could fly it like that on one line. I saw one on eBay listed one time, but I've never seen one in person or anybody ever fly one.
Yeah, I never saw a speed flyer fly one. I mean, almost nobody flew the stock Stansel unit. They usually have some kind of a handle on it.
Yep.
With the pivot in front and stuff, but they all used the bead. None of them used. I never saw anybody fly with the spur gear arrangement.
Well, I can tell you, Patrick Hempel, he's a big dyno jet guy. He's a big pulse jet guy. He flies all classes of jets, and he still flies monoline at the Nats in that class, and he wins it every year because he's the only guy. But it's crazy to see him out there flying a fast jet on monoline with that thing, man. And he's still got to be in the pylon. He's still got to, within 2 laps, he's got to be in the pylon, and then he's out there with his hand like this, doing this, man, and running around in circles to beat the band, man. It's crazy to watch. It's really crazy to watch.
I can't figure out how they spin around that fast. I mean, you absolutely don't have a choice. You've got to get your hand in that darn pylon because once it's in there, that's what's holding you. But on the other hand, now you've got to spin around that darn post.
Well, you got to run around the post.
Oh, you're running. My Langlois is he's a big boy, but he's very fast.
It's much easier to fly a jet with a regular handle because you can walk the circle and extend your arm. And you can slow down your rate of speed turning around a little bit. But the reason they had the pylon is because they have exact measurements for the lines. You got to lock into that pylon so for any speed event because they don't want you whipping. Not that you can whip a jet, but it has to be a level playing field all the way. And when you lock that into a pylon, it's locked. So you cannot shorten. You can't shorten the circumference of the circle by doing anything like this, like pulling it in or whipping or anything like that in some of the other speed events. So that's why it is, because you're running against the clock.
Jim Rhodes here in Salt Lake is a speed pilot as well as a stunt pilot, like several other things. But he flies sport and fast jet, and he has a few of his own. But he does a lot of flying for the older speed guys. And heck, he's at 82 or 84 years old, somewhere in there. And he's talked to me last time I talked to him about it. He said he thought he might have to give up piloting just because he can't run around that pylon that fast anymore.
Yeah.
John, there's a lot of guys that own airplanes that have other guys fly them for them.
Exactly, especially at speed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially speed planes.
Because a lot of the speed guys are engine guys, motorheads.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not really good flyers, so they get a good pilot that can fly their plane smoothly and fast, and they'll get the trophy, but that's just the way it is at speed.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right, well, let Charles get back onto regular control line. I'm sure we're boring the heck out of everybody with all this.
I just wanted to explain to Walter, I muted your mic. I was trying to find that background noise, and I'm not sure where it's coming from, and so you have to unmute your mic. I also muted your mic, Ed. Carlisle, I was trying to find. I still don't know where that background noise is. It's a real subtle hum. Do you guys hear it sometimes? Are you guys hearing it?
I hear it. Sounds like a little TV going in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that you, John, by
television.
chance? John and Miller? You have a TV going on in the
Let
back?
me go shut the door and see if that's me.
Anyways, while he's doing that, we have 26 viewers. We have only 16 likes, so please hit the like button. And we have 0 chat revenue. We have 0 new members, 0 chat. Tom Rammel I think about 30 minutes ago, he said, I gave you a like, Charles, and that's about it. But you guys are fine. I mean, Alexander III, I imagine you're just listening. Walter Umlin has come in, so was Mike Lonke and Gary Sinclair.
Did you get my like?
You know what? I don't know who's who. I see the total. The total is 16 likes. So thank you very much. And Howard Rush would like to speak. So go ahead, Howard. Oh, yeah, you're muted, Howard. You got to unmute your mic.
Good point. I have something to show.
Oh, great. Let me make you big, Howard. Is that a NACA airfoil?
Yeah, no, it's actually a Pat Johnson airfoil. It's the only thing I could get to make this shape. It's made out of ABS. It weighs 5.5 grams for one side, and I think that might be a little too much, and I probably ought to use the blue stuff instead. I haven't tried it on there.
Howard, move your camera down. We can only see the top of your forehead, brother.
Well, that's all you need to see. Now,
So what's that airfoil for? What are you doing with that?
It's a fillet.
Oh, okay.
Wing in the body.
Oh, very neat.
Yeah, cool. My tip.
Hey, Howard.
So, I have. Yeah.
Just so you know, I got my battery yesterday, and so I checked the machine out for good, charged the battery up, and I ran the 2 weird simulations you sent me. So I got those out of the way. So tomorrow I'll start on the regular program. Did anybody get their carbon yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But thank you, Jim. And thank you for coming in, Jim.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, I got a question I can't stay long because I got to be at the flying field at 7 o'clock in the morning.
I thought I had to be there early.
Last week, you had a real nice, I watched the thing after the next day. You had a real nice photo essay that you did with a bunch of cool airplanes. You had one that was a yellow plane, one of yours, before you had the Magister.
I sent you a note on that. I think you may have misunderstood. I do not have plans for that. I have the airplane here, and I think maybe I should. I was surprised at how many people, the way people reacted to that. But I think maybe I need to get around to drawing some plans for it. One of the ones I wanted to document anyway. But
yeah, the Magister was nice too.
Yeah, I need to draw plans for that and for my other and a few others. I don't know.
I mean, Danny, people would love to build something that kicked Al Raby's bottom. I mean,
Yeah.
Because Al was unbeatable at the time, and you come along and kick his bottom, and you're a kid. Let's not forget, guys, when he beat Al, he was a junior.
Senior.
He wasn't a senior.
I was actually a senior, but
you were a senior. Okay.
Yeah, but at any rate, yeah, it was fun. But I guess I've always thought my airplanes. I mean, I do things differently than a lot of people, and my stuff doesn't look like mainstream or anything like that. So I don't, everybody likes building, a lot of the same few airplanes and stuff, and my stuff just looks like it's, strange. So I don't worry. I don't lose a lot of sleep over, trying to publish them anymore or anything like that. So
you were close to Ski Dombrowski, weren't you?
Was I? No, I know him. I knew of him.
Different, the different type of stuff, the unique. type
Ski
of
did well. He did on top of everything else. He was a fantastic craftsman, which I could never touch. But he did some really unusual, really attractive things. I thought his lace makers were really something. So.
He was a member of our club. And I don't think he ever drew plans for the lace maker.
No, he didn't. And a couple of years ago, before he passed away, I got up with him and I asked him for permission to do his lace maker. And he goes, before we do that one, because it's got a really complicated exhaust system, he said, let's try this other plane. And the other plane was red, white, and blue, was painted like an eagle and a flag. And it was all stringers after the wing. And I couldn't even start doing plans to something like that back then. I got some pictures I could put up here. Just unbelievable, his workmanship, like Dennis was like saying. Just unbelievable.
I remember the red, white, and blue one with it was. If you stood way back, you'd say, "Well, gee, somebody took another Nobler and made something like an Olympic," because it had two rudders on it. And then the closer you got to it, you started seeing, where did that radial cowl come from? Why is that fuselage? How many stringers are on that round fuselage? And gosh, those ribs or the rudders don't look like Olympics at all. They look more like like a B-24 or something like that. And it's the thing is just reeking of personality all over the place. And just all of these little signature touch. Any one of those things would have been enough to put it over the top. So yeah.
Wait, I think I know what the pictures might be.
So.
Yeah, we're having on July 11th. We're having a memorial fly-in for him over in Salem County here in Jersey.
Are you?
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Oh, very cool.
Hey guys, I got a call tonight.
All right, Jim. Thanks for coming in, and I look forward to getting the carbon.
John Miller, what kind of magnets did you get? Was those a little K&J magnets?
Yeah.
And what size did you get?
5/16 diameter by 16th thick, and 3/8 diameter by 16th thick.
Yeah, those should work good. I'll tell you a little trick too. If you find that you've got too much magnetic pull, you can take a piece of basswood and you drill a hole in it and you put a screw. And then you put your cowl on and you make it so your magnets touch the screws. And that way you can actually adjust the tension by moving the screw.
Good idea.
Yeah, so that worked good because I got some 1/4" by 1/8" magnets. I couldn't get them suckers off for nothing, man.
I had those blow off. I had the cowl blow off with those on. And I was going magnet to magnet. I must have had a lot of pressure in that compartment.
Yeah,
Jim had his at Huntersville. I don't remember if it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago, but it looked like he was over fighting with his airplane. I thought he was going to pull the thing apart, and he's trying to pull a battery cover off. I said, "What the heck are you doing?"
Yeah, they can be hard. Well, I've always found that the whole secret is that you mount one side, like say into the plane, and then in your cowl, you kind of wobble that hole out, put your saran wrap down over the other magnets, and then you put your epoxy in where you walled out the hole. Then you can actually stick the top magnet right exactly on, so it's perfect. And then you just put the epoxy in the walled out hole and drop it down, and it won't move the magnet, but it'll glue it to your cowl, and you get a really good seal that way.
Makes sense.
You know, you get the full force of the magnets. The one I'm doing now, it's only 16th inch diameter by 16th inch depth, and I may still put screws in that sucker. I mean, they hold good, those N5 magnets.
I was looking at one that was a 1/4 inch diameter and a 1/2 inch long.
Oh yeah, God, you never get that off.
I made the mistake of using something like that on my spoilers one time and never could get spoilers to come up.
Yeah, you have to find a good
servos.
magnet.
Yeah.
K&J, the best magnet, the most powerful is the N5.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Magnets go. And you got to be careful with those magnets too, John. It's like when you were showing it a minute ago. You get them apart on the table, you know, a little group here, a little group here. Those suckers, they'll slam into each other at about 3 feet.
Yeah.
Golly.
Wow. Yeah, they're powerful little buggers.
Yeah, they are, man. All right,
There's
have a nice night.
They're sending me notice they wanted me to buy some,
thank you.
some blocks. They were a 1/2 inch. There's a 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch by inch long. You know, they were like $80.
Oh yeah, they got all kind of magnets there, man. It's a cool
they do.
website.
Anyway, take care.
All right, y'all be good.
All right, have some good flying tomorrow. Come back and tell us all about it.
Well, I'm going early because the wind's going to suck by 10 o'clock, so we're getting there an hour early. All right, y'all be good.
Logical.
All right, see you, man.
You too, Jim. Take care. We'll see you Monday.
Yeah.
Hey, Charles. Can I say a word to John there?
Yeah.
John, with those magnets, rare earth ones,
Somebody go.
I buy them in all the different sizes. They're super pretty. You know, here's just a stack of them. And then the little
They are great, aren't they?
Now, you said you keep losing them. You said
Say what?
What I do is I just stick them to the drill press lid, and then they're always there, and they're handy. I use them to stick my chuck on the drill press, all kinds of stuff. So just keep them in the one spot, and they're always ready.
You know, I
That's a good
never
idea.
thought of that. That's why I had to order these because I can't find the slug of them that I already have.
They're stuck
Yeah,
somewhere.
throw them on your drill press, on the side of your table saw or something, and just keep them handy.
Yeah. Tom Ramos says, keep the magnets away from your computer hard drive.
Yeah.
And how?
Oh, yeah.
And how? That could be nasty quick.
You can lose a lot of data in a hurry.
Keep heat away from them too. If you like, I've had to remove them from things I've had them epoxied into and just used heat. You know, the classical soften the epoxy. That seriously weakens the magnet. They're pretty much junk afterwards.
Okay.
And you guys, Mike wants to speak when you guys give him a chance. He wants to speak.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Well, you just said Tom Rammel. He's still out there watching. I hope
Yeah, he's
Tom,
still up there listening or watching.
I hope you come on tonight because I scored something pretty interesting today and a bunch of stuff I got. It's a little tiny wooden boat that was made for electric motors, but it looks really old and I think it's really cool, but it's a boat and you're our resident boat expert. So I hope you come in, Tom. That's it.
What kind of boat?
It's out in the shop. I'm gonna have to show you. It's only, I don't know, it's maybe a foot long, but it's a wooden boat. It's a little wooden boat that had an electric motor.
I used to race.
But I don't know who the manufacturer was or what the era is from, but I think Tom would know. So I want to get his input on that if he's coming in.
I used to race fiberglass boats.
Yeah, no, this is older than that and like
Does the one you have, Mike, run with D-cell batteries?
No. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's smaller than that. I think it's. I'll show it when I come back out. When I get back out in the garage. But I bet Tom Rammel knows. I bet Tom knows. So.
All right, Peter, he wants to say something. Go ahead, Peter. You got to unmic your microphone, Peter.
Well, of course, it's muted. Speaking of hard drives and magnets,
right?
They are a great source for the really molybdenum magnets. For instance, if you ever need one that's like a weird shape or size,
yeah,
right there you can see the almost the chevron shaped insert there.
Yeah,
That's basically came out of a hard drive, and typically they'll have 2 or more of these in there to center and move the heads. And in this case, I may not need to use it, but it also comes with this handy little plate with screw holes on it that I can turn around and just attach this plate somewhere, and it's mating piece if I need the 2 magnets. And it's already got the screw holes. I can secure it. Don't have to worry about epoxy and everything else. And ultimately, what the final assembly looks something like that.
Right.
But they have those magnets in there, and the nice thing about it is it's in a shape that you cannot purchase. Basically, you can't purchase online one of the high strength magnet sets. It's a half a circle. This almost you can turn around and put in the nose ring on the inside of a nose ring of your cowl. Right by the nose ring, because it's got that shape to it already. Just stick this on the inside part there and do whatever you want and go from there.
And they're very strong magnets too. Those are.
It's the same deal like you get with when you're buying John bought a package of them. They're the same type of magnet. As a matter of fact, I can't get these 2 little suckers apart once they're stuck together. But just an idea, and
yeah,
you'll find them in all sorts of sizes. I mean, this little nugget came out of a hard drive right there. I mean, you can probably get something like something along those lines. But then there's even smaller ones. If you can see the tip of this, you see that tiny little block at the tip of this I use as an extender so I can get parts in and out of tight spaces.
Right.
You got tiny little suckers like that. All came out of hard drives.
Yeah, you're like me. I took everything apart. It seems like I took it apart. I use the platter for a mirror.
Yeah,
I have a bunch of those platters all over my garage, my shop.
Yep.
And I take apart hard drives and I take apart microwave ovens.
And since a lot of computers these days are moving to solid state hard drives, they don't use these mechanical ones anymore. You can find these dirt cheap.
True that. True. Very true. Thank you.
Makes sense.
Oh yeah, and if you can get across some of the bigger ones, some of the bigger older hard drives,
right?
You get something that looks like this. And now this is great for picking up screws and other stuff. I mean, look at the thickness and the size of that magnet.
Now, what kind of hard drive was that?
This probably came out of a old. It's probably. Let me think. Hold on a second. It didn't come out of one of these.
I know it didn't. Because I have those.
This probably, if I can recall, came out of one of the really ancient ones, which were like this size, but they were kind of like that, like that thick, like the old 400 megabyte hard drives.
Amazing.
And those you can, like I said, those you can find. I mean, they're boat anchors, as far as electronics is concerned these days. But the amount of small parts, screws, magnets, and other interesting items can be salvaged out of them.
Very cool, Peter. Thank you very much.
Still looking, guys.
Still looking for the pictures? That's fine. Yeah, speaking of hard drives, my friend who just passed away about 2 months ago, he actually invented the gigabyte hard drive.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah. So
Who was he working for? I mean, must have
Art
worked.
Divine. Art Divine was his name, and he actually sold the invention to either Seagate or the other big manufacturer for
Mac Store.
lots of money
Yeah.
back in the day. But
Wow.
yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyways, I had a experience this week. You know, I've been I purchased a brand new about a year ago. I purchased a brand new Stalker 81, John.
Oh, did you?
And I was excited, you know, because remember I sent yours back to you. So I finally got a spare motor, and I was all excited about this new motor. And I took it out to the field and broke it in, ran it on the bench, test stand. Then I put it in the plane, and you know, I'm excited because I've been my original Stalker 81. I'm the second, maybe the third owner of it, and I was just excited to get a new motor. Anyways, I take the plane out there, and it was hardly giving me any performance. I mean, I couldn't even get my Red Strager to do a loop. It was just so weak, you know. And I was like, kept cranking the needle. I couldn't get any more power out of it. And I go, that is so strange. That's terrible, you know. So I put the old engine back in, and it needed new bearings. But anyways, I decided to take them both apart. And for a reference, I had the old one, which gave me lots of horsepower, next to the new one. And when I took them apart, I learned that my sleeve had cut off half of the exhaust port. I mean, as far as it was rotated, where only half of the exhaust could get out. And so I fixed that. I just turned the sleeve to give me the maximum exhaust. And I took it flying today, and I had, you know, plenty of horsepower. It's turning a 14-inch prop, and I'm kind of excited to get that going. But I was so surprised because when you spend you know, $400, you don't expect a sleeve to be you know, to be put in wrong.
I'd give Russell a call, let him know he needs to check his quality control.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was just surprised, and that's what it was. So that was interesting.
I have a question for Denny.
Give Denny a second to unmute his mic.
I just have a question for Denny because he's been around a while longer. I'm still trying to identify this tune pipe, and you know, some of the older guys.
Looks like a Mac pipe.
It's an okay. I mean, I'm wondering if this is any good for stunt use. It's not that heavy. No, it's definitely a vintage. It came with a OS VF40 that I.
Let's see the end of it.
Huh?
Let's see the other end of it, Pete.
See the stinger.
That may be. It could be a Hattori. It's not a Mac. Because
really?
Mac,
I don't think it's a Mac.
Mac was a solid pipe.
And the baffle on this pipe is right about where this mount is, right about there.
It could be a Hattori.
I think that is
probably good for stunt use.
It's not. No, I don't think it's long enough in the body.
You could use it behind a Tiger 60 or something as a big muffler. A lot of guys are wanting to take the Tiger 60s and put in the old tune pipe ships and put side to rear exhaust pipes on it and use those as a muffler, but that's all it'd be good for.
Okay, so from the baffle to there, it's about 12 inches. The whole pipe is.
Oh yeah, that's way too short.
The whole pipe, stinger included, is 14 inches long.
No.
Yeah.
No, it won't work. It'd be a muffler, but that's about it.
Okay. Just curious. You know, I don't want to put a VF40 or VF46 in there.
Howard's saying something, and he knows more about pipes than I do.
Than any of us, probably.
Go ahead, Howard.
Go ahead, Howard.
Yeah, I'm just going to neighbors, friends of mine, and giving them space. I had 3 companies for
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh,
that was Steve. Maybe it's Steve's.
I don't know anything.
That's funny if you say you don't know anything. I think you know a lot, Howard, but thank you.
That's not quite true, Howard, but okay.
So for stunt work, it's really too short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the consensus. You're looking for a pipe for your 40, VF? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, the 40 and the 46, which right now I have a 40 VF in the Pathfinder LE, and I was figuring if I've got one here, and it's like I said, it's only 4 ounces. It's not a heavy pipe at all.
That is heavy. That is heavy.
4 ounces is heavy.
I have a pipe from Kaz. It's a lot longer than that, and I think it's a little over 1 ounce.
Yeah, well, that's a carbon pipe. I'm just saying, if I have it,
Well, Peter, that would probably give you a real good boost and get you going about another 40, 50 miles per hour.
That's what that one's not made for a limiter. That one's made to make you go faster.
Okay. Yeah, I'm used to seeing the speed pipes, but typically not ones that have the squared off end. They're usually, the rounded end and the longer stinger. So
that's one that looks like one we used in pattern in the 80s, 70s or 80s.
Okay, yeah. that would make sense because I believe that the VF came from somebody. It was an RC engine, and it probably came from somebody who was flying pattern. Because the interesting thing is this motor mount, it came with the engine as well.
All right, man. Bye.
Oh, that's a cool motor mount.
As well.
That's a cool one. If you just replace the rear cover plate with that, or you attach your rear cover plate to it?
I suppose you would detach you use longer screw. Let me get this thing out. Longer screws, and you would not replace the back plate, but
It just mounted to the holes for the back plate.
Hey, Peter, that's a Mac pipe right there.
Is it?
Yeah. See, he never. Somewhere it's got to be joined, but there's not a bump or anything in it where they joined it.
Right. You're right. But a Mac pipe can't be flat back.
I think his is a Hattori. I think Peter's pipe's a Hattori.
A Hattori Hanzo? Is that a Hattori Hanzo pipe?
I don't know.
That much I don't know. I never ran them. I ran to flew against them.
Well, all right, you missed a reference. Hattori Hanzo is the guy from Pulp Fiction that made the swords.
Oh yeah, okay.
Hattori Hanzo. If you got a Hanzo pipe, Peter, it's priceless, man. If it's made by Hattori Hanzo.
You guys let Howard say something. He wants to speak. Go ahead, Howard.
Yeah, this is an interesting pipe.
That is.
Made by Ed Scurry, ES Composites. John Miller knows it.
Yeah.
Guy in Utah. This is made out of really good stuff.
That looks really neat.
And I use the.
Yeah, and he has plenty of area for the exhaust to come out.
That I think Norm Whittle had something to do with
the
design on that too.
Who
Norm Whittle.
Who just
Norm Whittle studied all the numbers and everything.
To make it better.
Yeah.
Hey, Howard.
Do
you?
Yeah.
Is there any way you can turn up your audio on the device you're using? It's really, really hard to hear you. It's almost like you're at half volume or something. Does anybody else have that issue? Or
I probably hear him. I maxed out his volume, and I can hear him, but I got to really strain to listen. He's just probably too far from his mic.
Now, Howard, are you building a sauna there? It looks like all redwood.
No, it's just wood. It's used to be a horse stall.
What worries me more, the bars on the windows. It's almost like he's in a prison over there in some respects.
Well, I was thinking either it was a sauna or his wife is building it for him so moss don't land on him. He's moving so slow.
The bars keep the horse.
Bar for the horses. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I like that. I like that color of the wood, though.
Anyhow,
I do too.
Yeah, Ed's probably just the camera. Ed skirt, but the guy who makes the pipes, and normal how to modify they work well. It's light and made of good stuff.
Now, is that a special carbon fiber pipe made for electric, Howard?
I haven't tried it on electric. I guess I could. I don't have a pipe tunnel though.
Howard, like I've said many times, you come in here for a little fun and fellowship. What do you get made fun of and talked down to?
Yeah, the only thing is, it's like this thing with this like this is like really long. I couldn't fit this in an airplane.
Now that'd be about right. You're gonna.
Yeah, I'm thinking of where the header is. I mean, this is like over 20 some odd inches long, and that would be too long for stunt because what basically for these motors, Randy says from the distance from the baffle to the center of the piston should be about 17 inches, and this is way more than 17 inches to there.
Cut the header.
Yeah, you'd have to cut the header.
Yeah, well, you see, since the headers are kind of hard to come by, I'm very, very, very leery of cutting anything, making it too short.
I understand. I just bought a header from Dubjet about a month ago.
Hey, Peter, you know what you should do?
Sells headers? Oh my God.
Peter, you know what you should do? You should find a really big, wicked profile and put that thing on upside down on a profile and run the pipe down the bottom of a profile.
And use it as a test bed. I actually have a Forerunner kit, which is a profile. As a test bed, except the Forerunner is not that big. I mean, the pipe would like hang off the back end of the airplane.
No. Put it up. Get you a Dave Brown RC mount and do a radial mount and mount the engine inverted and run the header on the bottom side just like you would in a piped full bodied stunner, but you use a Dave Brown radial mount on a profile. You know, you build yourself a firewall, put a fiberglass Dave Brown mount on it and run it.
And use it as a test bed. Yeah, before I commit putting in. Either that or I just go to Randy and buy a pipe. What the hell?
Never mind.
That'd be the way to do it.
No, what were you gonna say, Howard?
Howard, unmute your mic, Howard.
If the combination of pipe and header are too long, and you don't want to cut the pipe and you don't want to cut the header, you have an insurmountable problem, and you need to go electric.
Ah!
There you go.
Very good.
Funny guy.
Yeah,
So,
what it is that if you look at a Randy pipe, he gives you a lot more to cut.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, you cut the pipe, not the header. Absolutely.
Yeah. But what it is that back in the day when they did RC, you needed to be around 21 inches or something like that. I forget. You can still go on the old Mac website and it'll give you
I think the Randy pipes are between like 16 1/4 to 17 3/4 or something like that on the pipe chart. They're definitely between 16 and 18 or something very close, and they're in between.
Yeah, see, Mac, you might be able to cut an inch, but that would be all you would get cut off of that.
Yeah, but Peter don't have that on that pipe.
Yeah, his even has less.
Yeah.
But more than likely, that pipe was probably made for a OS 61, rear exhaust. And when you use their header and the pipe, it was pretty much tuned. You might only have to cut a 1/4 inch or whatever. I mean, Hattori's were always super expensive, but they were tuned for, if you bought it for a OS 61, it was tuned for that.
Well, I wouldn't cut it then, Peter. If it's a Hattori,
No, I'm not
probably
cutting
big
it.
money.
I just happen to have it, and I figured, if I've got it, why not use it? If it's not good, if it's just going to give me more headaches in the end, then I'll throw it back up on eBay. Maybe somebody will give me $10 for it.
$10. Them Hattori
$10.
pipes are selling for about 150.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's not more. Yeah,
that's probably $100 bill you're holding there.
yeah,
man.
at least. If it's look on eBay on the Hattori and see if they look alike, and if they do, and that's a Hattori pipe,
And
that
then
thing will
buff
sell
it
for
out.
big bucks.
And buff it out. Polish it up.
Okay, I mean, sure.
Charles, check your phone. Check your text messages.
All right. Where's my phone at?
Bill,
Oh, my phone's on Do Not Disturb. I took a nap before I came in. That's why.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt the show, so I sent you a side message just before we get off the live stream. That's all. Just check that.
I
Sure.
said,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Let's do that, Mike. Definitely. Well, right now it's almost a quarter till 9 out here in the West Coast. So let's get that. Let's get that going. That'd be great, Mike.
Phil, I sent you a private message, Phil. Did you get it?
No, not yet. Let me look. Yeah. Oh, shucks.
All right, so this is going to take a few minutes, and I hope you all aren't bored, but I had a pretty good score on Facebook Marketplace today. I found a guy in Clarksville, Tennessee, that had a bunch of stuff listed, and that's about 80 miles from me. And I drove up there today, and I'm just going to real fast just show you my haul. LA 46.
Right, nice.
LA 46. LA 46, LA 40, LA 40.
Wow.
LA 40.
Wow.
True turn, 3-bladed spinner.
Ooh, nice.
Monocoat iron.
Which one is that?
Thunder Tiger.
Okay, yep, that's the same as the other guy.
Ooh, nice. I have one of those.
I have one of those. That works well.
Slot machine. I've been wanting one of these. Slot machine, brand new in the box.
I'd have gave you one.
Magnum 40 XL, brand new RC engine. Magnum 40.
Ooh, nice.
Wow.
Brand new, never run.
No, he's going to tell us he got it all for $50.
Yeah, that's about it.
Hang on, I'm not done yet. 2 rolls of Ultra Coat, 1 roll of Tower Coat.
Oh, that's great.
You'll love Tower Coat.
Isn't it really just Ultra Coat?
It's Econocoat.
Rodak
ME 109.
109.
Nice.
Rodak Sea Hurricane.
Oh, very nice.
And I think
Dennis,
Dennis
Dennis has got conversion kits to make them into.
Ooh, what is that?
Rodak Oriental.
Oh, nice.
Kit built with an LA 46 in it.
Nice.
It's pretty beat up. It needs some
Yeah.
help. And let's see. And this boat that I wanted to talk to Tom Rammel about.
Yeah,
But-
Tom's still not here yet.
7 motors, monocoat iron, slot machine, 3 rolls of covering, 2 Brodak kits, and the Oriental with a 46. $120 for all of it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
That-
I mean, I'm
that
proud
boat-
because at least you're going to use it. You got Sam, in the in tow. It's going to be used as opposed to, someone getting it who doesn't use it.
No,
that's
it's
great.
it's all going to be sold.
Hey, Tom wasn't on Monday either, was he?
It's I cannot stress enough to you guys, scour Facebook Marketplace, look at it every other day or so, look at the RC hanger swap, because you will find stuff within an hour or 2 hours of your house for cheap.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Yeah, I need to do more of that.
This wasn't eBay stuff. This was Facebook Marketplace. It was on Marketplace in Toys and Hobbies, and it was 80 miles away from me. The The guy was just dumping all this stuff. And I'm gonna sell the kits. I'm gonna probably sell some of the motors, and I'll keep the covering the other stuff. But I'm just hustling to get gas money and pay for hotels for contests this summer.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. We got to find a way to pay for this hobby.
Exactly. Just try to.
Oh, absolutely.
Mike.
Yeah,
Mike. The boat looks like one that Scientific kitted for a while.
Yeah.
So was it a
cabin
kit?
on top
Like
of
you actually built it and painted it?
Yep.
You built it and painted it yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe they.
I mean, it's
I
pretty
think
well
they were
done. Look at the brass stuff
Yeah.
on the bottom, man. It's got
Yep.
a drive shaft and a rudder. It's pretty well painted. I think there's some doodads missing off the front a little bit, but you can see there's a place where the electric motor was mounted, and whatever batteries went in there, and he just kind of threw that in to the deal. I don't know. Is it old anything? Is it?
Could be old Dumas too.
Or should I just
You're the
give
right
it to him
person.
and let him sink it on the lake? I don't know.
Get on eBay and stuff and start looking around for something that looks like that. I seen some inboard motors for them here about a year ago, and I'm like, it was just the motors and the shaft and stuff, but it's like, well, that don't do you no good unless you had a boat or whatever.
You got the boat. Yeah, I mean it's actually pretty well done. It was well built. The paint's held up real nice. It doesn't look like it was played with a lot.
No.
That's what makes me think that this is probably late 60s, early 70s, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I'm
pretty
not
nice.
sure.
Late 50s.
Late 50s.
Late 50s.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to show this dash just to reiterate to you guys. You need to, if you're not on Facebook and you hate it, I understand why, but Facebook Marketplace is a great place to find stuff that he wasn't a contest guy. He was just a guy that flew a little control line and a little RC by himself.
Wow.
So he don't know about Stunt Hangar. He don't know about Stuka Stunt. He don't want to sell stuff on eBay. He was just a local guy getting rid of his junk. And I scored all this stuff for like super cheap. And I had to drive an hour and 15 minutes to get it. But,
very good. Yes, that's a good tip. It really is.
You got to hustle, man. There's stuff out there. And if you don't look for it, you're never going to find it, man. You're never going to. This was just a random thing I saw on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm like, he's 80 miles away. I'm going to go get it all,
Yeah.
And when I got there, we negotiated a price. He said, take it all. And I did.
Nice. That's great. That is really good.
I would like to ask you about
who needs a couple of Brodak kits? Who needs some 46s and some 40s?
Yes, not me, but I know there's somebody out there.
I'd love to talk to you about that ME 109, but I don't know when in the world I'd ever get around to building it.
Yeah.
Well, Phil, I'll save it for it if you want it. And listen, I'd make you a good deal on it. I would,
Well,
I remember drawing the plans for that ME 109. That was a fun one to draw.
So
I'd like to have that one.
So that one has been opened but not disturbed. The shrink wrap is off it, but not disturbed.
That don't bother me. I'd like
the
to have
Sea
that.
Hurricane is still in the shrink wrap, and they're both die cut versions. They're not the laser cut version.
That's all right.
So that makes them.
Well, Mike, I have a friend, Carl. He might be interested, and then I have another friend, Joe Mata. I'll let him know what you got, and maybe he might be interested.
I think $75 on the kits is a fair price. I mean, I think
so.
when Brodak sold them, they were 120. For the die cuts, I'd take 75 on either one of them plus shipping. So there you go.
John believed in having sharp dies. He once commented to me. He said he didn't understand these other kit manufacturing because a set of dies really didn't cost that much, and you make a 100,000 kits off a set, you should at least jump for a new set of dies once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
His die cuts were good and clean.
Yeah.
Send me the 109, Mike, and I'll catch you at the next contest.
You got it. It's yours.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't need to ship it to you. I'll just see you when I see you.
Yeah, because I got a guy locally to go crazy over that kit. And he can't afford
$75.
nothing.
75.
I'm gonna get it and give it to him.
All right, I'm gonna put your name on it right now.
All right.
All right, cool. So you guys, let's get ready to transfer into the after party. And but we've had a pretty good show. We've had as high as, let me see here. I'm looking at 25 viewers. Wait, let me see here. Yeah, it looks like we've had as high as 25 viewers. We have 21 likes. That's pretty good. We have 0 chat income. Zero chat revenue. 0 new members. So if you're watching this as a replay, again, if you wanted to donate to our program, you need to come in during the live broadcast and hit the super chat, which is in the chat box, and or you can subscribe or hit the join button. Actually, do both. Subscribe to the channel, Stunt Hangar channel on YouTube, and there's a join there. You can join for as little as $4.99 a month, and that just helps with the expenses of doing this, and that'd be greatly appreciated. And let's see what else is there. We'll be back again Monday, so go out there, have some fun. Like Jim's going flying tomorrow morning before the wind. Hopefully you'll have something to share with us. And so with that being said, unless anybody else has something else to say, we'll move into the after party.
I just wanted to show real quick. I don't know if anyone's seen these before, and I got these from Max Products. They're called the Easy Solder Couple. And for a Dean's connector with a flat deal.
Okay.
It's a little spade that goes on there. And you solder that on, and then it'll take a wire.
Okay. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
For people like me who have a hard time soldering a round wire on a flat piece of brass.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
Yeah. And these, I can go see, they're not very expensive for a package of, let me get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Get 10 of them on there. But yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, with that being said, let me get ready to turn the live stream off.